Well, good morning. It is August 14th, 2024. It is 7:46 a.m. How about some Jesus and coffee time? Are we ready? I am literally still in my pajamas. I don't even care. I'm drinking my coffee. I got up. Well, getting up to me means getting up and going to the bathroom. I got up. And I laid back down and I said, okay, God, what you got for me today? And he says, I want you to picture a canvas. And I went, okay. And I said, well, what do you want me to do with this canvas? And he goes, I want you to create. And boom, everything just went, and it was like, I totally understood what he meant biblically. So I want to try and help those that are struggling with the Bible, and those that are struggling watching my journey, and those that are struggling not understanding all of this, but watching it going, this is fascinating, or watching it going, I'm scared out of my mind, or watching it going, I don't understand what's happening. This woman's crazy, this woman's a witch, this woman's this woman's, I get it. There's 50,000 ways that you all can look at me. I'm totally aware of this. But I've also shown you 50,000 ways to see God in it. So just work with me, okay? All right, listen. This is good. Where are my Bob Ross people? Man, I'm going to take you all back. If you don't know who Bob Ross is, I don't have anybody else to compare that to, so I'm sorry, but someone else out there might. But listen, God, everybody knows who Bob Ross is. Bob Ross used to have a channel and he would paint. And so those that were painters were very much into him, and he was he's a really cool dude. He's Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers. Like, I don't know how else to word that. Like, these two guys we grew up on. Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross. This is the generation a lot of us came from, okay? And when you watch a painter, you don't see the full picture. So the way that they see it in their head is broken up into pieces. They see the big picture, but they have to zone in on that blank canvas to create it. You all with me so far? You can go to the store and you can buy a blank canvas. You can either buy the canvas in black, you can buy it in white, you can buy it in blue, you can buy it in red. Depending on what you're painting, depends on the color paint that you're going to put on that canvas. Go biblically, go spiritually as I'm talking to you. This will make sense in many different levels, many different ways. Inward, spiritually, life, jobs, businesses. So just keep going with me on this, okay? You are given a blank canvas to create something. What are you creating? It's your vision. It's what you're wanting out of this. You guys, the Bible is a creation that we are all, it's over 2,000 years old. Or I don't even know. But have we not seen the Bible over and over and over and over again? When you have a family business, the family business is either going to succeed within generations or the family business is going to fall within generations, depending on how they grew up in that household, how they grew up in that business, how much that business means to them, how much they understand it. You guys, there's many movies out there. I don't even know the names of the movies, but let's just take an example of somebody has a family business and they really want their son or daughter to be in that business, but the son and daughter has another calling. They want to be a writer. They want to be a lawyer. They want to do this. They want to do that. There's something else that's pulling them. There's something else that they want to do. And so the parents or the family is upset at them because they don't want to carry on the family business. And they're like, well, that's not what I want to do in my life. That's not who I am. So because you have a vision doesn't mean that everybody else has your vision. churches grow based on their vision that everybody believes in, and everybody sees their vision, and everybody understands their vision, and they know where they're going with the vision, so everybody supports that vision. Believers support God's vision. We are the vessels. We are the paintbrushes. We are the creators to continue on to what is already written. What are you writing in your life? What are you creating? What are you doing? What are you wanting? How do you do that? Well, there's core values to doing this for yourself. You have to start to talk to yourself differently. You have to start to see yourself differently. And those words of affirmation are what carry you through the day. How many of you put sticky notes on your mirrors, put sticky notes in your car, have sticky notes on your computer at work? You have to keep talking to yourself in a way that will improve you. And there isn't always going to be somebody there to support you. There isn't always going to be somebody there to tell you you did a good job. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean you stop doing a good job. You find that within. So it starts here. And then it lights up and it migrates and it goes out and you energetically let it flow and you just keep going with it and you're helping and you're growing and you're doing and you're wanting to help people and you're wanting and you feel good and you're just going with the flow of life and it's so surreal and it's so cool. But then when you go biblically and when you go spiritually with that and when your conscience grows and when you take God out of a box and when you understand what you can create and what you can do and you live it by the Bible, you are prophetically speaking out God's creation. So when God said, let there be light, let there be animals, let there be water, let there be people, let me make a human, let me do this. He was creating a canvas beyond our canvas. His canvas has stars. His canvas has planets. There is so much more that God has created. We have to keep going in the legacy of God. We have to keep going in the generations that want the business to fail or don't understand the business or don't want to be a part of the business. It doesn't mean that we don't continue on with God. We don't continue on with the Bible. We don't continue on with His creation. There's a black canvas and there's a white canvas in the Bible. Depending on the colors that you put on that canvas depends on how you're going to see it. If you are looking at it in the dark side, if you are looking at it, you better start putting white on that canvas. You better start bringing that canvas to light and letting the darkness come to light. When it is dark, there are stars, there are moons, there are things that are GPSing us. There are things that are showing us. There are things that are going on, and there are things that they are doing in the dark. But it's not all dark and evil. But there is dark and evil. Does everybody understand that? God's canvas is also white, and we just keep adding color to it, and we just make it more vibrant, and we just bring out more of the colors, and we start to mix colors, and we start to work together, and we start to go, if you add this color and you add God help me. If you had this color and you had this color, what color does that create? Right? Why are we not coming together? Why are we not creating? Why are we not working together? Why are we not putting puzzle pieces together? Why are we not taking each other's strengths and making us stronger? Why are we not doing God's will? If it is His will, He will make it happen. But if you're deceiving, if you're hurting, if you're being an asshole, if you're just attacking, if you're just then you're gonna have a very black canvas. But until you find someone who has the white paint, and until you find someone who has the paintbrush to dip the white paint in on your black canvas, God, this is good. Your canvas will remain black. And you'll have what they call writer's block. And you'll just keep looking at the canvas going, I have no idea where to start. I have no idea what I want. I have no idea who I am. I have no idea. You're right. And you're going to start somewhere. It's okay that you're staring at a blank canvas. You're okay. Just because you can't write the next song, just because you don't know what to write in the next book, just because you don't know what to paint next, just because you don't know what you really want to do in your life, because you don't really know your hobbies, you don't know what you like, you don't know what you don't like, you don't know this, you don't know that. Take some time. Go within. Spend some time alone. Figure some stuff out. And to others, being alone is very scary. Being alone is a silence they don't know. They're used to drama. They're used to chaos. They're used to living in turmoil. They're used to drama. They're used to going. They're used to not being sit still. They're used to... But that comes from trauma. It's trauma bond. It's a trauma-based symptom that you have. It is not who you are. It's just what you know. When we watch Bob Ross and he takes that paintbrush and he makes those trees look really easy to create. I can't paint for nothing. I'm like a stick figure, but I've always wanted to go to like those paint party things. Like I always seen those and I was like, I don't even know what I would paint. Like paint by numbers. Great. Paint by numbers. I can do paint by numbers. You get what I'm saying? Like when you do a puzzle, my puzzle peeps, when we do puzzles, we start off with the edges. You create the canvas. Because there's nothing there to create. So you have to create the edges. You have to create the boundaries. You have to create something. And then you put the puzzle pieces together within those boundaries. You put the puzzles to pieces within those edges, within that canvas. You already know the picture. It's on the box. But you have to take each little pic and you look at the picture and go, you look at the little piece and there's something about that little piece that sticks out more than other pieces. And you can kind of look at the picture and you can go, okay, I think that might go right here. And you just take that piece and you just kind of put it up to that picture and you go, I think that might go right here. Isn't that God? Isn't that the Bible? Isn't that putting the pieces together? Isn't that putting history together? Isn't that putting all of our truth, all of our facts, all the documentation? Isn't that us putting everything together and going, the Bible is real, the Bible is true, and we are living it out. The Bible is alive. We're living it out. Revelations is being lived out. What canvas are you seeing God in? God, this is so good. All you had to do was give me the word canvas and I understood the assignment. That one piece sticks out to me. Those one words in that Bible stick out to me. I'll watch something. God will show me something. I talked about the was and the roar of I do not function like everybody But none of you function like each other does either. I know some brilliant creative minds, you guys. Brilliant. But they have no idea how brilliant they are. And I talk to them and I go, I would have never known this about you. I would have, but I took the time. I gave them a safe space to be vulnerable in. I've given people, but that's my heart. You guys, I used to travel and with the old ministry that I was in, and when we traveled, we would get on the plane and I would sit next to strangers, and every time we got off the plane, they go, okay, what did you find out? Like, I talk to everybody, and people will, I will sit, and people will just start telling me their life stories, and they have no idea that in my head I'm going, this is absolutely fascinating. They have no idea who I am. Yet, they're looking at me like I have no idea why I'm telling you this. It's so weird. But I've created a canvas. I've created a safe space. I've created a boundary of safety. And I don't always see it that way. I'm starting to see it that way. But I'm just who I am, and I just like people, and I like talking to people, and I like hearing their stuff, and I like seeing their creations, and I have a friend who does woodwork and does amazing woodwork, you guys. And I go, God, and I don't think that he even understands his talent. But I just go, this is fascinating. And I see people soaring in things, and I see people doing really good at what they're good at, and I just go, keep going. Like, you have a gifting, there's something about you, and I go, that is, but when you don't see yourself like that, you're hindering something inside yourself. You're hindering a growth. You're hindering an opportunity. You're hindering a vision. We all have a vision of what we want our lives to be like. I want acres of land. I want to be able to have something for my children. I don't have an inheritance. I wasn't left an inheritance. There isn't something for me. I've got to create something for my children, for my grandchildren. I have to work at that. I have to figure that out. I have to go, what can I leave them? Only God knows what I can leave them. Because I trust in Him. Because I'm trusting in a process that I have visions, I have things that I want. I have a journal entry full of them, and I lived in an RV, not the way that I thought, but God gave me my vision. Very differently than what I thought it was going to look like. And we all see that now. We all know that now. This is not what we thought this was going to be. I am not who anybody thought I was going to be. I'm well aware of this. Either did I. Does everybody understand that? I did a post yesterday. Oh, this is so weird. I did a post yesterday, and I talked about, I don't remember, characteristics or something along those lines, and being a starseed. And what does being a starseed mean? Go look up a starseed. We plant seeds. It's biblical. We plant, but then there is someone who sticks out a little bit more, and they become what's called a starseed. They see the universe, they see the world, they see it in a bigger picture. And they're planting seeds on different levels. They're planting seeds on different ways, and they're reaching people, they're branching out, their seeds are growing, their root is growing, the vine is coming out, we are branching out to different generations, to different people, and everybody's hearing God differently, whether it's musically, whether it's in the writings, whether it's in the scripture, but we're all seeing God now. Different ways, different levels, different ideas, different concepts of God. But they're all still biblical. The Bible is alive in us as his vessels. He made a creation and gave it to us in writing and had proof and documentations, and he said, believe in what I'm telling you. I mentioned the North Star. I have a video. Go back on my video somewhere in this. Again, I re-talk about things on different levels and a different understanding as I'm growing with God. The North Star was their GPS to find the baby Jesus. How did they know that back then? They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have social media. They didn't have distractions. They didn't even barely had neighbors. Like, they were far off lands. They were all over the place. Yet they all knew where to go. How did they know that? Think about that. What led them? The stars. Revelations is happening, but so is Genesis. We have to go deeper in order to go higher. We have to go back to the beginning. Let there be light. What does that mean? We have to look to the stars to know what that means. We have to go higher. We have to become more understanding. We have to become more in depth with the Bible. We have to understand the numbers in the Bible. There is a linkage to the Bible that goes so deep rooted depending on your knowledge of the Bible. Keep calling them crazy, y'all. Keep calling us crazy. Because the crazy ones are the ones that are going to show you. Because we are the remnant. We are the true soldiers. We are the ones that will push the limits. We are the ones that will believe in a faith that you may not have, but we will carry it for you. We're the star seeds. This is not something that everybody's going to comprehend. This is not something that everybody's going to understand. This is not something, but it doesn't make me crazy. That makes me think outside the box of who God is. What does the word sovereign mean? What are you limiting yourself in? Do you have any idea what you can do physically? Do you have any idea what you can do mentally? Have we ever stretched this? Have we ever gone above and beyond? Look at the Olympics. Look at their as a whole. Look at what they had to center to be in public in front of the whole entire world and nail it. Where does that come from? What have they been fed? What do they know? How much work did they put into that? Who supported them in it? There are those that are warning us. There are those that are telling us what's to come, but not to put fear in you. That's not the intention of any of this. If you are a believer, then you know that you're protected. You know that everything's going to be okay because we serve a God, we serve a creator that has already taken care of us time and time and time again. And so we believe in that. And so we know in that. And then no matter how dark this gets, no matter how bad this is going to get, all of our needs are met because we believe in the protector. We believe in the angels. We believe in so much more. Because it's written. In a creation that we don't quite understand, but we're seeing it and we know it. We know it's there. We know it's happening. But we don't dwell in that. We don't sit in that. Because we've already seen what God can do for us. We've already seen in other people. Watching other people and watching God in them and going, but we don't think we're deserving of that. We just go, you don't understand what I've been through. You don't. Shut up. We've all been through shit. We've all done stuff. You're not any less important than somebody else. Just because you're scrubbing toilets doesn't make you any less important than the CEO of the company. I clean houses, I scrub toilets. I get it. Like, we're all doing our part. We're all working at something. We're all working for something. We should all be working towards something. Well, I don't know how you can live your life like this. I don't know how you can just see everything so bright and cheerful all the time. It's really sick and I'm really tired of it. Yep, I know. I get tired of it too sometimes. Sometimes I really want the dark side to come out. Sometimes I just need that balance. Sometimes I need to know that I'm not that naive. I'm not that. I still have that. I still have that strength. I still have that grit. I still have that core. I still have that who I am. And then there's times I get tested in it. And there's times where I understand what's happening around me. And there's times that I sit back and I watch and I go, this is fascinating. And it's almost like a matrix. It's almost like you're in slow motion and everything around you is going really fast. And you're seeing all this stuff happen. And it's like a movie. And you're like in the slow motion and the fire and the chaos and everything is happening all around you. And you're just walking down the street with the fire and the explosions. And nothing's hitting you. Nothing's coming at you. Nothing's phasing you. You're just doing it. It's a canvas. I decided to take my canvas biblically. I decided to take my canvas and really see the truth in the Bible. I'm so tired of all the debates. I'm so tired of this and that about the Bible and about religion and about God and about the devil and about and all this fighting and all this going on. And I go, why is it like this? Why are we doing this? What are we accomplishing? Now, when I talked about my starseed and all of this, I talked about, I don't know where I talked about it at yesterday, and I'm sorry. When I go spiritually, I just post stuff and I do stuff, and there's things that stick out and there's things that I remember, but sometimes I don't remember all of it. And so You just gotta have to kind of go with me. No, I'm not losing my mind. No, I don't have dementia. It's just different. I don't know how to explain this to people. But I mentioned the forefathers and where this country was founded on, and the independence and the Declaration of Independence. And as I researched it, Hamilton came out. Does anybody know who Hamilton is? Does anybody ever seen the musical Hamilton? It is for a generation that doesn't understand history. Because the Bible, the book, the history books, our schooling, everything has been twisted. Everything has been changed, and they take stuff out of history. And they are teaching our children differently and not with history. But for such a time as this, Hamilton was created. Hamilton is absolutely fascinating the way that they did. Geniuses. God help you in your giftings, because your music, your words, your rap, your everything in that is genius. Go look up the song One Shot and watch it on YouTube. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to leave it right here, and I'm going to let you research. And if you know my journey and you know who I am and you've been watching my journey, and the words will stick out to you, there are parts of his song that you will go, holy cow, because I did. When you put pieces together that God is doing in all of this, I cannot make this up. I am not this smart. Does everybody understand me? But God is. God is a genius. God is the most brilliant creator ever. Oh man, where God is going to go with this, I am so excited. We're here in our time. I love y'all. Happy Wednesday. Bye.